Tech, we are looking to build a community amongst those companies and people in companies in the financial technology space. One of the things that is noteworthy about the financial technology space in Georgia is that there's about $34 billion worth of revenues that are associated with payments here in the state. And our mission is to help facilitate a community that provides both opportunities for networking, like we've had this morning, as well as opportunities to learn about our space, such as the content of this panel. In order to do what we do, we are aided by a number of gold sponsors. Those sponsors include Cyber, ControlScan, ProHorbit, Elevon, First Data, Equifax, Fiserv, Grant Thornton, Hava Farragetti and Wynn, Nelson Mullins, Porter Cable Moore, Raymond James, brand new RSA from just a couple of days ago, Slalom Consulting, and TSYS. Those gold sponsors are a who's who of the industry. And what we're here today to do is to learn something more about the industry through this panel. Jim Fancher of Seargate has done yeoman's work in putting it together, and I'd like Jim to come up.
Thanks, Dave. First, I'd like to thank the amazing panel that we have here. I know you all are very busy, and on behalf of TAG FinTech, we certainly appreciate your dedication to the community and to the TAG organization as we continue with the mission to promote Georgia and Atlanta as the global hub of financial services and technology. So we appreciate that. With that, I'd like to introduce Karen Webster. Karen is an accomplished executive, successful entrepreneur, and industry thought leader, and a passionate philanthropist. As CEO of market platform Dynamics, Karen works extensively with the most innovative financial services companies in the world, mobile, B2B, and technology sectors to identify, ignite, and monetize innovation. As an entrepreneur, Karen has successfully developed and launched several new ventures in the loyalty, online media, and social media space. And the one this room is probably most familiar with is the payments.com business. Karen is a frequent speaker and author of numerous articles on the sources of innovation and platform strategies. Karen was a key contributor to the Catalyst Code, the secrets behind the world's most dynamic companies, which was published by Harvard Business School Press in 2007. Karen's credited with directing the research for the book and devising its trademarked six-step framework.
Thank you.
So, and Karen's also a passionate philanthropist. She is chairman of the board for the Susan G. Komen Advocacy Alliance and trustee of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. So she's quite a busy lady. And I've had the opportunity to get to know Karen over the last year or so, and she's a fascinating person with a great sense of humor. So I know we will enjoy this panel discussion. A quick note on timing. As you see, we've got 6 panelists, and we have a lot of perspectives on the panelists, which is what it takes to ignite a technology and payment channel. And so each one will be very interesting. If we run over a little bit, we've still got the room, so if you have to leave at 9:30 prompt, please feel free to do so. We're going to continue to take audience questions. And in that regard, we have set up the kind of a geeky thing, since we're the Technology Association of Georgia, the ability to stream questions in by tweeting. And that is the sheet of paper that you picked up on the way in that has an example of how to do that. So when the time comes, people are looking at that sheet of paper. But basically, it's if you have on your smartphone any tweeting type application, you can put @ELOCnet space, and then your question, and it'll stream it onto our screen. So feel free to do that. We kind of experiment, like to see how that works. You can always raise your hand and ask for really questions as well. So with that, I will turn that over to
Thanks, Jim. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's so nice to see everyone here bright and early. Although I guess at 8 o'clock it's not so bright and early anymore, but it felt bright and early at 6:45. It's really great to be with everyone today and to be with this great group of panelists who all bring, as Jim said, a very different perspective on the topic of conversation that we're going to embark upon this morning, and that is mobile payments. A couple things before we dive into the questions and the panel discussion. I thought we would organize a format that really does create more of an opportunity for conversation and controversy, which is really, I think, what we're trying to do here. So we decided to ditch PowerPoint and even ditch the traditional introductory, everyone stands up for a few minutes and says a little bit about who they are and what they do. This is going to be a very dynamic, moderated discussion with the panelists. The introductions will happen by questions that I'll ask people to give them an opportunity to talk a little bit about their experiences in the payment space and specifically in the mobile payment space, which I think will provide an interesting way to jump off and get into the conversation. So I would encourage you to tweet questions. We'll intersperse them throughout the discussion. We don't have to save them until the end. And if there's something that you hear us say that you're really interested in reacting to, raise your hand, tweet. We'll try to engage the room in that conversation. So that's a little bit about the format. As Jim said, we have really interesting panelists. I'm going to just give you their names, and then we'll get into the introductions in just a minute. At my far left, we have Ron Carpinello, VP of Equifax. Matt, how do I say your last name? Thank you. VP Mobile for Fiserv. Cynthia Merritt, Assistant Director, Retail Payments Responsible for the Fed. Malcolm Nunes, Senior Manager, Credit Services, Home Depot. Alan Tatel is General Partner, Nora Mosley, and Sid Singh, who is SVP Global Products for Global Payments. Before we get into the conversation, I thought I would give you two pieces of context to kind of frame the discussion. First, let's talk about what we mean when we talk about mobile payments. And I think everyone instinctively has a definition in mind, but I want to make sure that as we're talking about mobile payments this morning, we're really talking about the landscape of payments that mobile enables. And I was having a conversation earlier this week with the folks at ETA who are wrestling with how to put together a structure for talking about this at their leadership forum in October. So I'm going to trial the way that we're going to be talking about it then, just to see whether it makes any sense. So you're the first to hear this. So mobile payments, thinking about mobile, role in payments, really has four. So the first is as a channel extender. So using mobile in its most basic sense as a little mini computer that allows you to basically buy stuff online, the way that you would buy stuff online if you're at your PC. So channel extender. The second is as a channel replacer. So mobile phones become physical acceptance devices, replacing traditional POS terminals, like what Apple is doing with ZipCheck, what new players like Aislebuyer are doing with line-busting applications. And just this morning, we saw Heartland bought something called Mobile, spelled kind of a funny way, that allows sort of the same sort of opportunity. So replacer. The third is as a channel enhancer. So this is where mobile phones are enhancing the experience for merchants and consumers at the point of sale. So this is where we would put something like what Starbucks is doing with its mobile barcode, and what Foursquare is doing by serving offers to drive traffic to local merchants, and what Google Wallet and ISIS are doing with NFC around point of sale and offer aggregation. And then the fourth is channel disruptor. So the notion that what Amazon is doing with Price Check, that enables people to check prices in store and probably not buy stuff in the physical storefront. So 4 things, you know, it probably still needs a little bit of fine tuning, but I want to just bring that perspective to the conversation, because I think when we talk about mobile payments, we tend to think about phone as replacement for card, and we want to have a much broader perspective this morning for our conversation. Okay, that's context frame setting number 1. Context frame setting number 2 is I'd like to play a little mobile payments by the numbers game this morning and give you 10 data points to kind of get the brain cells fired up. So let's start. 141 million. That's the number, according to Gartner, of the people worldwide who will use their phones to make mobile payments in 2011. That's worldwide. That's up 38% from 2010. 4 million. That's the number of Starbucks customers who have downloaded its mobile payments barcode application that launched in March of 2011. 4 million, again, is the number of dollar volume of payments transactions that Square says it's processing every day. 8 million, the number of PayPal customers that PayPal says use their mobile phones to make payments. 3 billion, PayPal's projected mobile payments volume for 2011, and that's up from its original forecast of 1.5 billion at the beginning of the year. 1 trillion. That's the size of the mobile payments market forecasted in 2014 according to the Yankee Group, and that was before the crash with London. Big number, 1 trillion. 100,000. That's the number of merchant locations in the U.S. that accept contactless payments today. 35%. That's the number of people in a recent survey conducted by PayPal that said they'd use their phones to pay at the physical point of sale. 70%. The number of people who would rather give up alcohol for a week than their phone. 18%, the number of people who would rather lose their wallet and all of its contents than their phone. And $250, the cost to replace the leather Prada wallet that you lost, if in fact you didn't lose it. Okay, so enough of the context.